is there, I'm going to gladly give it up. You know what I'm saying? But if he was here, that all that travel and lodging, hotels. I started prison being a prison wife when I was in my early 20s. I always had to rent cars. They charge people under 20, I think it's 25, more money. I would have to put insurance on the car. So you would have to visit, you would have to rent it for the whole weekend. So that's easily 100 and something to $200 for the car. Then all the gas going hours away, 5 hours away, 4 hours away, 3 hours away. Then you're paying for all that overpriced vending machine food during visitations, and you're turning around right after you recoup from this trip. You're turning around and doing it the next month. So a lot of money a lot of money over 20 years has went into this prison wife life. And had I had that in some type of account or putting it towards some type of investment, how much could I have prepared for? And then it hurts your pockets, though. You're going to take care of your bills first, right? I'm definitely going to take care of the bills. My daughter gonna get paid, like not paid, but taken care of. Like everything that is concerning her is gonna get paid. So then the prison wife stuff. So who comes last? Most times it's the prison wife that comes last. What you really want comes last after you've paid for this, and this. It's not much left out of your check. It's not like you're a freaking millionaire. Maybe you are, but I ain't good. So it's like I would have had so much more money. I would have been able to prepare and get up off this ground. I feel like I should be soaring and my wings are just broken. Like I think I would have soared if I was not a prison wife. And not saying that I'm don't want to be a prison wife like with my husband. It's like if my husband wasn't imprisoned wrongfully, if he wasn't in prison and I wasn't living this life due to that, there's no limit to what we could have been. Um, so I'm on number 6. No, that was number 6. So I'm on number 7. My health. Girl, without being a prison wife, I'm sure I would have been so much more healthy. I have sacrificed so much, like years of sleep behind being a prison wife, due to not just worration over all the stress caused by it. A big stress for me is my husband ever coming home. That keeps me stressed and worried and depressed. Like a lot of depression would not have been in my life had I not been a prison wife. A lot of the stress would not be in my life if I wasn't a prison wife. Stress causes high blood pressure. When you're worrying about how you're going to fight a case, you're not necessarily worrying about, oh, are you eating the right things? Or, because me, I was always on the go, on the go, on the go. I got to grab something quick. It wasn't like me and our daughter cooking meals together, eating healthily, sitting down as a family. That wasn't our life. And I believe if he was here, it would just be so, it would, girl. I'm telling you, it would have been so much better. I would have been able to have that time to keep up with my health. I definitely wouldn't have been working overnight. I probably would have got many days, nights of sleep. But due to this situation, my health, I have sacrificed my health in ways. Okay. Number 8, getting hurt. When I got hurt, I had a slip and fall in a super center that I worked at. And due to it, they fired me. They started writing me up and saying it was for other reasons, but I had no write ups until I fell in the store on my day off, on my birthday. It was so ironic. I was on my way to see Ice Cube. And Ice Cube, you remember Friday when they said, "How you get fired on your day off, Craig?" Isn't that like symbolic that I was literally going to see Ice Cube when I had a slip and fall? And so that like permanently injured me. So now is I'm dealing with so many issues behind that still, even though that happened in 2013. Oh my gosh, my I have arthritis in my neck. I got 3 herniated discs. I'm in nonstop pain a lot of times. It's interfered with me being able to work and all of that. But the thing was, if my husband was here, it wouldn't be that the whole family would have been so dependent on just my one income that no matter how hurt I am or how damaged I am, I have to find a way to get to work and work through pain. Like I have worked through excruciating pain. I'm not a person that likes medicines and stuff like that. So I don't like to take all those different steroids and things that they prescribed to you and stuff like that. So I believe if he had a been here when I went through that time, like he would have been here to help me through some of, number one, I wouldn't have had to work so hard, and I believe he would be here to help. Girl, he could have massaged that darn neck like for real. It just would have been so much better had he been here. Like I don't think it would be so much pain if he was here. Like we could work together. It wouldn't be just me trying to work my fingers to the bone. Um we're on number 9. A situation that I believe is harder because Marcello is in prison and I am a prison wife is my eyesight. I go through it. I am legally blind. And the thing is, a lot of times I tend to forget it because I get around pretty good. But when things happen and I can't get around, when I'm unable to do certain things because I can't, like, good example, during my one of my finals in school, I literally broke my contact right before my final. So I almost failed. Like I still took the final. I was all the way like up on the screen and stuff. It still couldn't hardly read it. Um, as a graphic designer, it wasn't so easy having somebody, try to help me because I'm literally trying to walk you through how to do graphic design work. So if you don't really understand Photoshop, it's hard for me to basically teach you Photoshop so that you can help me with this test or whatever. So as many times that I need people or like now my contacts broke, it's a lot of things I can't see, I can't do when before I got my contact, before we even know what was going on, all I knew was I was having diminishing eyesight. And if our daughter got 2 feet ahead of me, I couldn't see her. Like if she was walking like really fast in the store, I would think she's lost. I can't find her. I remember a situation when she was in a lazy river and she thought it was so freaking funny that she kept going around and I was crying because I couldn't find her. If you get 2 feet from in front of me, I can no longer see you. And I think dealing with a lot of those issues would have been better. Even now, I'm supposed to have an cornea transplant, and I just broke my contact, and it makes me so nervous going to the doctor. I am not into doctors at all like that, and so I finally had to go. Like it wasn't my choice. I need this contact. So a big reason why I was dreading going is because I know we're gonna have that conversation. The conversation that, hey, Keita, you really need to think about this transplant. And I honestly do not I'm and I had got to the point where I was going to break down and do it. And I'm like, girl, just go ahead and do it. But I'll get to that point of why I decided against doing it the first time. But I knew that conversation was coming up because I not only have to see the specialist that helps me with my special made contacts, I also am supposed to be seeing a eye surgeon. And I've been avoiding the eye surgeon because I know he's going to tell me, look, it's time to do that transplant. And it's a scary situation. And what they explained to me was a lot of, like, you're basically going to have to rest. Like, how well you heal from this and take care of yourself and rest is going to decide on whether this transplant is going to be effective or not. And by him not being here, like, number one, he could support me through this. I probably wouldn't be so scared to do it if my best friend was here, the person I talk to when nobody else wants to hear my voice. Um, Also, I know that when I would have to do that bed rest time, he would be there for me. Like, he would be here trying to help me. And they was like, you have to go to different appointments. Well, if I just had eye surgery, I'm not going to be able to drive. I don't have a lot of people in my life that I can actually depend on. Like, a lot of people depend on me, which you think that you would get the same in return. But I tend to not be able to be as dependent on people as they are on me. If I tell you I'm gonna do something, baby, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna part the Red Sea to try to help you with your problem. But people don't do that for me. So it's like, if my husband was just here, he could help me through that situation. I most likely wouldn't be so scared to do it. And then the last but not least at all, number 10, um, a situation that I believe was made much harder due to, being a prison wife. So it's not just this situation, it's this situation combined with being a prison wife makes it, harder. Losing my mother. Oh my God. Like, when you lose your mother, girl, it feel like you don't belong anywhere anymore. It feels like the tree that you came from, it feels like your roots are cut off. Like, you're a tree with no roots. Like, you're a vessel with no where you came from. All of that is gone. And when my mother passed, it felt like I was hollow, like something was like sucked out the middle of me. Like, I no longer had pieces of my insides. I felt like that. And I basically had to go through my mother's death alone. I don't have a lot of family. Um, and back to, I don't have people I can depend on. And when that situation happened, it became that I was the one that had to take care of a big chunk of almost everything. My mother was another woman that carried the world on her shoulders. She made sure everybody was straight except for herself. And I'm repeating a pattern that you know, I'm repeating her pattern. And it's like, I wish I would have repeated her good qualities than her not so good qualities. But if my husband was here, I wouldn't have had to go through her death alone. I would have had my best friend with me. And what also makes it harder, I never disclosed this, but my mother didn't just die. It's just crazy. My mother, she she was planning on living. She went back to school in her late 40s. She graduated. She raised 5 kids and grandkids, 2 grandkids. She helped me a lot with, not as far as watching kids, because my mama didn't play that. You had them kids, girl, you take care of them kids. But whenever I needed, if I could not do it myself, because I am independent and I have been for a long time. If I went to my mother for help, baby, I must really need that help. And I'm still that way with my father. Like, people are like, why don't you just ask your dad? And I'm like, no, my dad, I'm not going to my dad. Like, I would ask my dad at the last. Like, there could be no other possible way that I can do it myself. Then I'll ask my dad. I don't want to burden my parents. My parents have already given me the world, and I could never repay them. So I don't want to pull more from them than they've already given me. But my mother didn't just pass. She got her master's age 53. That's all she was. I'm 40. She was 13 years older than I am now. Graduated with her master's and was on to being to pursuing her doctorate when, due to negligence in the medical field, negligence, my mother could still be alive. So it wasn't that my mother just died, though I refer to it like that. She didn't just die. Because she wasn't somebody's priority, she's gone due to their negligence. It's so hard dealing with those feelings, like, why is my mother gone when she clearly should be here? That's a dark thing to go through. I need my husband to go through it with me, like, to be there with me, to support me, because though I claim to be strong and a super rapping woman, sometimes I need somebody else. I need him. And as much as he could be there with me through a phone call that I got to pay for, you know, need him present. Anyways, thank you guys. Thank you. Hopefully that video made some type of sense. It was basically supposed to be the 10 situations or 10 things that I feel like were made harder due to being a prison wife. They were already hard situations, but being a prison wife on top of that, I think it was made so much harder. Anyways, hiss your girl Cadillac. Oh, right on time.